the computer. Yes, there we go. Good morning. Okay, so we had our managers meeting this week, as you all know. I appreciate you everybody taking care of everybody else and not really trying to get with me unless it was an emergency. Really do appreciate that. Taking care of things on your own. But this was a good time for us to be at the managers meeting. First of all, I want to say appreciate everybody doing your best to make me look good. Keep it up. Please make me look good, especially this year. How's that? We have a new program that we're going to start starting January 1st. And that is a new pay scale. Mainly, we are getting rid of the top 100. We are getting rid of the rolling 12. We are now just basically, you're going to have two things that you need to hit. You're going to get paid on everything that goes through your warehouse. Okay? So you have to have 5% over what was last year. So in other words, starting January 1st, everybody starts at 0. You have to go 5% over what January of 2017 was, which I will have those numbers here pretty soon. And you will have a margin component to it where you need to grow 1.2% or 1.5% in your margin that is calculated from a September, October, November timeframe. Why was it calculated September, October, November? Those 3 months were a flat month, up or down. We were flat all the way around for all 3 months. So it gave us a perfect indicator of where everybody should be and is. So, does anybody have any questions on that yet?
Wow, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I told you would be.
Well,
Okay.
and when you mean everything that goes through your warehouse, I'm assuming that any customer that's assigned to you, because obviously they get, product pulled from random warehouses.
That is correct. No, whoever is assigned to you, that is correct. Whoever is in your territory, if it's a new customer that shows up under your new customer list, guess what? You get credit for it. Okay?
God, it's about
Wow. Is it the same percentage, the 2%? Or?
2%. Yes, ma'am.
2%.
The 2?
Yay.
Yes. So, okay. So
Wow.
now hold
Love
on.
it.
It is really good news. Yes, I agree. It is really good news. However, just understand something. You have to hit the 5%, okay? And you have to hit the 1.5 percentage of profit qualifier. I will have those numbers to you. Probably, I'm not sure if it will be today or it will be next week. If it is next week, it'll be Wednesday, even though I'm on vacation. You guys I will get you the numbers as soon as I get them, okay?
Okay.
We will no longer have the folly. The folly is going away.
Yay!
Hey, Dad, just as a question,
Yes.
obviously we've all been wanting this for everybody, from what I understand, for years and years and years. What made them change their mind?
The RSMs. The RSMs. We have been pushing for this, and we finally got.
Yeah, I just missed the first. I just got on about 5 minutes ago, so they're going back.
Ed?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you hear everything I just said?
No, I got in late. I'm assuming that they're going to go back to calling everybody instead of deleting the top 100.
That is correct. I'll tell you exactly what all that means. Ed and Kevin, I don't know what everything is going to be for you guys, but it is something you probably want to check with Carl, if anything changes for you guys, okay?
Okay.
So it's kind of back to the motto of if sellers make money, then we make money, instead of if sellers make money, we still don't make money. Therefore, it doesn't incentivize the
This is good news for everybody. It's good news for fellers and everything else. Now there is other things that will go on with this that I'll explain here in a minute. But any questions on that? Everybody's happy.
Gosh.
Everybody's
Merry
happy,
Christmas.
right?
Merry Christmas. It's that time. That's how it was when I started 9 years ago.
Yeah, well, I know. I know. Okay, so that's really good news. So we have another component, another good news, is that as we all know, Avery has lockdown pricing on the 1105, 1360s, most of their laminates, and a couple of other items. I have the pricing that will be available to us, but it won't go in effect until January 1st, and we cannot share these prices with anyone as of yet. Okay? Customers that say, well, what's my new price going to be? Well, we don't know. Okay? Not until January 1st. Now, now the nice thing about that is that because of that, and another thing that will be happening pretty soon is Arlon is going to go to a same type of deal on some of their products starting February. What this means is 9 of our top 10 SKUs are all going to be price locked. Meaning, guess what? We get to make more money.
I know. Did you just say Arlon is going to be locked?
I'm sorry?
Did you just say Arlon is going to be locked as well?
Arlon is looking at doing a locked pricing on some of their products starting in February, but we don't know what products are involved in that yet. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see here. So
don't set up any Arlon wrap material. Got it.
Okay.
And
again, I don't know. Orifal had talked a little bit. They may be doing the same thing following suit on some of their products. Now, this is going to be a continuing thing that customers, they will lock their pricing down on a lot of their great products, especially new products. When new products come out, guess what? They're probably going to lock them down. Okay? This is all good news for us. It means we get to go back to profitability. It means that everybody is on a level playing field. So what that means is it now relies, it's all on us to win the business. Our expertise, our knowledge of everything that's going on in the industry, everything that we already know and do, it's all going to be better than anybody else because we are the best out there at this. Okay?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
On the lockdown prices, I'm pretty sure of the answer, but Grimco gives an extra 3% discount on their own.
No, Grimco cannot give the 3% discount. That, including the 3M that is already locked, they are not able to do that.
Will they be called on the carpet if they do it? I mean, will they get slammed for doing that?
Yes, they will, and they already have. That's why they don't do it now. People think they do. They do not. Okay?
Okay.
When you see 3%, if there's like a 480 CV3 or whatever in that cart or in anything from Grimco and it says 3% discount, they take that out before they give the 3% discount. They cannot do that, or they can't give the 3% discount on anything that is locked pricing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Questions yet? Chuck, you have a great big smile on your face.
Yeah, and I do have a question. I mean, it's great news, but I am going to throw out a devil's advocate deal.
Sure.
Because this came up one time when I was having a conversation with a customer about 3M and their lock pricing on the MC products.
Right.
And the guy's going, this sounds like price fixing. And I replied, I said, no, it's like Apple, it's like Epson. They have a minimum advertised price. If their vendors violate that, then they lose the product.
Right.
So is that going to be the good thing to say? And
sure, there's nothing wrong with that at all. This is
on the carpet for price fixing.
Yeah, they're not price fixing because there are still a lot of competitors, so they're not fixing pricing because our clients still have other options rather than just one 3M option. Okay,
and not only that, when they do price locks, 3M, they don't want their value of their products to be going down. And you get what I'm saying? I've heard with my previous employer, that's kind of what happens, that there were some manufacturers like price locked or, like fixed pricing on certain products, because if not, then the suppliers will drive the value of the product down, kind of making the manufacturers look like their product is cheap or crap.
And that's exactly what everybody's trying to get away from. Based on everybody driving the price to the bottom, they're stopping that. Basically is what they're doing. They're stopping the pricing going to the bottom, and this becoming more of a commodity rather than a solution to issues that people want to take care of in the industry. Okay? So,
gosh.
Good news, everybody. You like that so far?
Thank you.
All right.
I want to hear clapping out there. Clapping out there.
Hey, Brian, you doing okay? You understand so far? Everything good?
Oh yeah, it makes sense. There'll be some more, but yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So, since we are now profit driven, guess what? This is a good news, bad news scenario in this one. The good news is we are going to be raising our prices. Bad news is you may feel like you're going to lose some customers, maybe, but it's not going to matter because you get paid based on everything that goes through your warehouse anyway. Our profit will go up, meaning your pay should go up on everything else. What are we going to do as far as raising prices? This starts January 1st, and it's not us. It is the manufacturers. Every single manufacturer is having a price increase. We have some of it. We know of 3M. And as soon as we get that finalized pricing, I will be sending that out to you. So what does that mean for us? That means that we are tacking on an extra 1% on just about everything.
Okay.
Customers that say, well, I'll just go to Grimco. Sorry to see you go. We really want your business, but we have to do what's right for the company.
So
you don't like it? I'm sorry. I wish there was something better that we could do for you, but that's the way. What if I have a better price from Grimco? Go ahead and buy it from Grimco.
Is there still going to be a cheat sheet?
There will be a cheat. There will be a cheat sheet, yes. However, some changes to the cheat sheet. You will still have basically with the way it looks like, but there is going to be a floor on certain products. In other words, you can't go below that floor, including me. Nobody can go below the floor. Okay?
The what?
It's going to be called a floor. In other words, the very bottom that you possibly can do on certain products, no matter what. I don't care if you bring me somebody else, a competitor's pricing.
Because of our cost.
It is going to be what.
Well, so basically, we can't price match anymore, is what you're saying.
That is correct. We're not going to be.
Okay.
Okay. Yes and no. Let me explain that. Customer says, well, I've got a different price from a competitor. Okay. Let me see it. I will make the decision, not you guys. Okay.
Okay.
I will make that decision. If it's too low, then I'll tell you we're not going to price match. And a customer says, well, I'm going to go buy from them. Okay, we don't want you to. We want to keep your business, but we can't. We just can't go that low.
We're already doing that.
And it's because of the.
Go ahead, Paula. I think we just lost her.
Nope, I said we're already doing that. Nothing's changed. We have a bottom.
Well, we have gone to 5%. We have gone to 3% to match somebody else's pricing. We're no longer doing that.
But rarely do we do that anyway.
Well, no, we do it a lot more than you think.
Yes, sir, we do.
Yes, we do. So that is going to be going away. Now, everybody's going to freak out, or at least this is what I expect. We're going to lose this customer. For a short period of time, you're probably right. We will lose certain customers for a short period of time. Here's what we did this past year, and this is why we figured this is what we're going to do, and this is why we're doing it. We did several tests throughout the year. We raised the price 1% on 3M kits. We raised the price on some wrap kits. We did this, we did that. We lowered the price on certain products. We raised it back up. We did a lot of playing in the industry. What we found is that every time we lowered the price, guess who lowered their price? Grimco. Everybody else. They went and followed us. When we rose the price, guess what? They did too. So as soon as we make the change, they generally will follow suit. Now, we have always said we'll match or beat their pricing. We're not going to do that anymore just because the customer wants us to. If it's financially beneficial for us, we will. If it loses us money or it doesn't make us any money, we're not going to. Let Grimco, let Denko, let whoever it is go ahead and go to the bottom for as long as they can, because basically they're not going to be able to sustain that model, because like we are, I mean, shit, we're hemorrhaging or have been. That's why we did certain things to make it better. And this is one of the things that we have wanted to do for a long time, but we've always been stopped by Mr. Fellers. He now is realizing this isn't the way to do the right business, okay? Questions on that?
So anybody that set up also is on 3M, say a 3M wrap kit in laminates and whatever it is, and those get locked down beginning of the year. That all goes away, doesn't it? They go straight to catalog, just like the Avery one. Correct?
No, they don't go to catalog. If they're already set up on pricing, their pricing will go up, but by 3 to 5%. Some of them are 3 to 4%. Sorry. So some of them are 3, some of them are 4.
So 3M will not get. They won't. Like Avery is going to get locked down. Correct? Anybody that's got discounts on Avery wrap kits right now, they will get locked down. What's going on with that?
Okay, right. So if we have a special price for an Avery kit, beginning of the year, they get locked down. If there is a special quote number that Avery gave, the customer will still get that pricing for at least the next year. They are looking into that to maybe go away with that, but they haven't decided yet on that. Okay?
But if a customer of mine is set up on an Avery wrap kit right now today, January 1st, they go straight to catalog pricing, correct?
That is correct.
Discount goes away for the Avery, but not the 3M. They're just going to raise the 3M pricing on the,
I'm sorry.
discount.
I think I've lost you. What was that now?
Okay, so the 3M, though, is different. They're just going to raise it by, 3 or 5%, and then we'll be calling the customers, let them know what their increased pricing is, and anybody else, it's going to be strictly catalog.
Okay, so which is, that's basically the thing. Now, keep in mind that 3M doesn't lock all their pricing, neither will Avery, of course. There's only going to be certain SKUs that will be locked pricing, okay? Kits will be locked pricing. Laminate,
on the 180 CB3?
No,
180
CB3 will not have locked pricing, but they will have a price increase.
Okay.
They will have a price increase.
Only the MC is locked down.
That is correct, but there will be other lockdown pricing coming up, okay, from 3M. 3M locking other products later on this year. Go ahead.
That means then Grimco is still out there going to be able to undercut and not have to have a catalog price on the 180 CB3.
That is correct. That's what I said.
Okay. Well, I was hoping that was going to go away, because that's where we're getting killed. I'm getting killed on Grimco out here.
You're exactly right, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. They will follow suit, guys. Everybody who, let's say your customer says, okay, I'm going to go buy from Grimco because they give me a better price. Okay, we don't want you to go. We would like to just keep you here. But if you got to do what's best for your company. Most of the time what happens is customers will be like, wait a minute, you've always given me my pricing when I tell you that. They're going to think in the back of their head, now all of a sudden you're going to say goodbye. And based on what I tell you, you don't just automatically do it, of course. Customer says, you know, whatever, but what it's going to end up being is we will raise the price in the industry. We are the industry leader. They follow us. We are the price leader. So if we raise our price, and we've proven this past year, if we raise our price, so will everybody else. So customers, let's say, that decide to move their business over to Grimco, I anticipate you may lose some of their business, if not maybe all their business, for maybe 3 to 6 months. But guess what? They always come back. Why do they come back? Because of you. They always come back because we stock products. We turn over products so fast. They don't have this issue of old products being sold on the shelf. We have such a great tool at our disposal, meaning you guys knowing what's going on, the different options that are out there. Grimco will sell them what they tell them or what the customer asks for and not give them options. Customers will start.
And I'll back Ted up on that one. My number one customer, he had some issues because he didn't get his product the next day. Like he kept on getting his, orders. It was like a shipping error, right? And then of course, by the time he told me, I stocked it in the warehouse, that he left. He left me and Fellers didn't buy anything from us for like 3 or 4 months, and he came right back.
Exactly.
And so. Yeah.
So, customers get pissed off at everybody. They're always going to be back and forth. It's just the nature of the beast. But they usually always come back to us in one form or another. Okay? Does anybody have any concerns or questions on that particular portion of what we're talking about?
Yeah, if I see a price, an invoice on a 180 CV 385.18 from Grimco, and I email it to you, it doesn't mean you're going to match it. I just have to wait, correct? But just
that
because
is correct.
Grimco, it doesn't mean it's in.
That is correct. If they bring it in and let's say it's 5%, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say we're not matching this product. The customers are going to be like, what do you mean you're not going to match it? You've always matched it. We're not doing it anymore.
Well, Ted, since we are now paid off of profit, do we have now the right to know like what we pay things at cost so we can help you and help us price our customers out correctly? Because that's what I used to do with my other one. We knew the cost, and then we as reps were told you're not allowed to put any less than 18% margin. So we got to choose whether we put 18 or 20 or 40 or 60. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, it just helped us. It gave us a tool to kind of know where we're at with certain customers.
That will not change yet. Whether or not we change that, I don't know. But that's why the cheat sheet is still going to be there, so that you're going to have other pricing that is going to guarantee that you don't go below a certain margin. Okay, that's why.
But is there any way that we can see? Okay, this product's at 9%. This product's at 3%. That way, we're not. It almost prevents us from double backing. So if we're already selling a product at 5%, so it's a complete waste of time for us to, email you, hey Ted, I have this customer, he wants a lower price or he wants a price match, and then because we can't see the percentage of the profit margin, if we were able to see the percentage, we're not even going to waste our time going to you because you just flat out said we're not going below like 4 or 5%. So that way I can just tell the customer immediately. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It saves me time. It saves you time. It saves the customer time because the longer,
Okay. Basically, no. That I understand what you're saying. However, you're still not going to have access to cost. Okay. What you will
not cost, just a percentage, like
what you will see. Okay, stop. Let me finish. What you will see is when you get the not folly, but it's going to be the S&P report for you. You will see the percentage of where your month was, where you're at right now, and where you need to be. Okay, so you will have the percentage of where you need. Let's say it's 50 or 28%. Okay, that's your goal, and let's say you're at 32% actual right now. You will know that. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the answer. You still will not have access to cost. You will have the cheat sheet. I understand you don't want to go below a certain percentage and everything else, and you want to wait. You don't want to waste time waiting for me. Well, guess what? That is my job, guys. I need a job too, you know. So.
Well, the 183 has been locked down on his catalog on the cheat sheet for the last year. So it's
Have you?
I don't even bother.
Okay, stop. Have I not given you better pricing than what was in the catalog for the 180 CV3?
Only if I had a date and a vendor, and it had to be within that week.
I
and,
gave everybody. I'm sorry to hear that. I gave everybody the minimum price you could go to, which was $1,095 without documentation.
Yeah, we had that.
Okay, so that is below
Grimco was
catalog.
lower.
That is below catalog. So there you go.
Yeah, Grimco was lower.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Any questions? Any other questions?
Hey, Ted.
Yes.
Just you might keep this in the back of your salespeople's minds, because they're going to get a lot of, well, you know, Grimco's doing this or so-and-so's doing that, and the price. And just an easy thing to talk to them about and break that tension is you just look at them and say, look, let me ask you a question. Can you run your business at a 3 to 5% profit margin?
Hell no.
That's exactly what they think of immediately. Then you just go, well, you know, neither can we.
Yeah.
And it has a different impact when they hear it like that.
And you are correct, Ed. You are perfectly correct. And I know that you and Kevin have been making lots of phone calls. Yeah, okay, real quick, I'm going to bring that up. So if you guys didn't know what Ed and Kevin have been doing for the past several months, Ed is calling on all our customers that we no longer are getting calendar business or vinyl business from, or very little where they used to be a lot. He calls them, he bugs them, and making sure that we are doing everything we can to get that business back. He has made a huge impact on what we do. A couple months ago, we did the same thing with Kevin, but Kevin is going after the cast vinyl market. So every once in a while, you may hear your customer saying, who's this Kevin Arnold? Who's this Ed Fusco? Why are they calling me? The reason they're calling is because those customers stopped buying certain products from us, so we're trying to get that business back. That's what they're doing, and they're making a huge and big impact on what we do. So thank you for both of you guys, Kevin and Ed, for doing that. Really do appreciate your help in helping us as well. Okay?
Thank you.
I have a question, Ted.
Yes.
You might have already said this and I missed it. So are we just going to wait for our customers to call us and say what the heck about their pricing?
Here's the whole thing. Here's what I will be sending out is everybody who will be affected by the pricing, then you have your option to call. Now, understand this. When you call a customer, I mean, you can call them and say, you know, or send an email out to everybody saying, hey, guys, everybody, price increases are coming. 3M has raised their price. We don't know exactly by how much starting January 1st. Excuse me. If you want to do that, you can. But as soon as you tell customers or call them, let's say about a specific, you know, we know the vendor is raising the price, but what the customer doesn't necessarily realize is that it's being another % on top of that. People are going to say, why are you doing that? Well, we're raising the pricing, first of all, but the reason we're doing that is not because we want to make more money. It's because if people don't realize when we had all those hurricanes and everything that happened nationwide, even over and everywhere, think about this. We had truck drivers that were being sourced by FEMA. FEMA took all the truck drivers, as many as they could get, and they take priority. Now, if a manufacturer didn't want to have a problem with their trucking, they would have to pay almost double the amount the truck drivers were getting in order for them to stay. So what does that mean? That costs more business, more money to do that business. We've had price increases all across the board. All the manufacturers have had price increases. Gas has gone fluctuating, gone up, gone down. It goes up most of the time. So that's another thing. Cost of raw material goes up. Cost of doing business just goes up everywhere. So we're not, I mean, it's generally 4 to 5% to us, but we're only doing an extra 1% on most everybody. You don't need to explain all that to the customer. All you need to do is if they call you and say, why did my price go up so much? Manufacturer had a price increase. Yeah, but Grimco didn't go up as much. That's fine. That's because Grimco thinks that they're going to be able to make that money. And if you want to go to them, that's fine. Again, I'm going to turn business away, guys. Jane, just for your information, guess who's going to be going up and he has no choice?
Yahoo!
Yes. Mary, guess who's going up and he has no choice? So.
Bring it on.
Yep. So I've got a couple customers, as you just heard, that I want to fire. I want to get rid of them. I now have the latitude, if I want to do it, to do it. Say, we don't want your business anymore. And it won't affect you like you might think, because you don't have the rolling 12. You don't have the top 100. You don't have to do any of that. Now all you have to do is your sales number. So if you lose a customer that does that in 1 month, guess what? You go get 2 other customers that do the same amount of money for you. Basically. Doesn't matter as far as that goes. You're still going to make money. Okay? Questions?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Chuck.
Back to the top 100.
Who are you going to call?
Well, no, I imagine everybody's still going to be ranked chronologically according to their purchases, right?
They will be ranked on not necessarily the top 100, but you will have a sheet knowing where your growth came from and who are growing and who's lacking and everything else. Same thing as what you've always had.
So we
Can I have a question?
Hold on a minute. Let's let Chuck,
right?
Say that again, Chuck.
We will still call the top 100.
There will not be a top 100.
No, I know that, but we'll still call 100 customers, right?
Or more. I mean, you think about it. You're being paid on everybody. So if, let's say you have a customer.
I have a question.
Say that again.
Sorry, my phone is cutting out. I have really bad service. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I agree with Chuck, but what I'm getting at is before, like, I have a customer that is not in my top 100 customer, but he's a huge sign shop and has a huge potential for new business, new money. So instead of me trying to worry about being like telemarketer, like, gotta call all my top 100 customers, I can actually focus on that high growth, high potential customer, so I could, have time to go into the shop 2 to 3.
Yeah. Okay. Not necessarily. I mean, you guys are still going to have a matrix of number of calls that you will make. That will be coming soon, and everything else. But you don't necessarily need to concentrate on these big people that do all this business and everything.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It gives you the ability to, do what you want. It's based on what you put in is what you're going to get out.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So when I mean number of calls, meaning I might have to call on that customer 10 times in that month, going into the shop, calling him, getting his pricing. So instead of spreading it out to 10 customers that already buy from me, I can focus 10 of my, calls onto this one customer that buys 0 from Fellers that maybe will soon buy $8,000 a month from Fellers. That's what I'm getting at. It's not that the calls have to be depicted by per customer. The call should be predicted on actually how many calls you're making to, like you said, try and make money, because I already make money on those customers that are buying from us regularly every month. I want to focus on the customers that are not buying from us.
You can. Keep in mind, you want to keep in contact with the people that are buying. You do.
Of course.
You want to keep in contact with them. So we will have a matrix as to what that will be here probably next week, as far as what you're going to be required to do as far as the number of calls. I still need you to put your notes in the system. If you don't put the notes, it didn't happen. We use those for everything. There are a lot of people that use those notes, and they have to be done the same day. That will not change, guys. Okay, Chuck, back to your, I want you to repeat your question, please, real quick. The top 100, I'm sorry. So, okay. So there isn't necessarily a top 100. However, you're going to have a list of customers who had the top growth, who did everything, who, what they bought, just like you have now. It's up to you as to who to call and who to concentrate on a little bit more. Okay? Keep in mind, you want to keep these top 100 or older top 100. You want to keep these people as happy as you possibly can, because they're keeping you in the business. They're keeping you safe, making more money. Okay? Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just wondering, I imagine that somewhere down the road, like you said, we're going to have a matrix, something to quantify what
you're doing and what you've done and what you have to do. That is correct. And that will be coming probably within the next week. I'm sorry. We tried to hammer as much out as we possibly could when we were there. We only had 2.5 days to really do this. Okay. We got to, we had this already working, and this is, out of all the scenarios, this seemed to be the best way to do it at this point in time. Other questions? Okay. Last thing. Customer calls in. You had given them a price. Let's say a wrap kit of $1,095, and you didn't set it up for them yet. Customer calls in to get that pricing. They will not be charged that $1,095. They will go back to whatever pricing is set up in the system, or they will go back to catalog. They explain before you get all up hyper and everything else. When the customer places the order, customer gives them the price. Okay, well, they'll pass it on to Override. Override will then send you an email saying this customer's pricing said their pricing was this. The customer was charged this. You need to get the system caught up. You need to explain to your customers that, listen, I'm going to give you this price. If you need to order it today, you will pay a higher price. We will give you a credit as soon as it's done. And then you will send me the information to get the credit. Why is that important? That means you have to set up your pricing as quickly as possible. It still does take 24 hours. You let your customers know if you need this right now, you may end up paying a little bit higher price, but we will take care of it on the back end and give you a credit in the next day or two. Okay? If they can wait for 24 hours and you can set their pricing in right then and there should be no problem, because that pricing will be set up in the system. Does anybody understand? Does everybody understand that, or questions on that?
So in other words,
Yep.
Brian?
So in other words, what you're kind of getting at is basically just take your laptop with you and just set it right up right there and email it right as you're talking. So then you can just go forward. Is that what you're basically asking?
Not necessarily that, but you do want to set up the pricing as quickly as possible. Keeping in mind that when you set up a pricing today, let's say at 4 o'clock, it will be most of the time, as long as they have it as long as there's somebody there, price override or price request can get it in the system, it should be set up by the following morning. However, if there's nobody there and you don't get an email saying done, then it may take an extra day, because the pricing request set up at midnight. That's when it's set up and put into the system properly, as long as somebody is there to manually put it in.
Yeah, because I usually just do it right on the fly. If they're standing there in front of me and we're talking about it, I just try to do it, knock it out, and be done and go on.
And just make sure that you explain to the customer, listen, if you do call in today, it's not going to be set up. You may be charged a higher price. Just to understand, we will go ahead and get you the credit on the back end for the pricing I just gave you. So
more or less, Override's getting probably their tail handed to them, and they're just trying to get it in the system prior to back and forth. That's exactly right. It's not. We are trying to make it easier for everybody, and so that you guys know the communication of what's going on. They will send you an email. Customer said the pricing was this. Set up the pricing that's in the system, or there is no pricing in the system. Customer is charged catalog.
Then you go ahead and you've already explained that to the customer. Basically, then you send me an email stating I need a credit on the back end for this.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold on a minute, Chuck. I'm sorry.
All right.
So basically, you need to set up your pricing. You need to use the setup and delete sheet even more. You need to reference that all the time. If it's not on that setup sheet or that setup and delete sheet, let's say right now the one is is in December, I think. So if it's not on there, but you have set it up, keeping in mind that it's a month behind, we're going to try to do a better job of that, but there's no guarantees that will happen. You just need to keep track of what you've done and make sure that it's been done properly so your customer doesn't get caught in the crossfire and say, you said you set this pricing up, why was I still charged the catalog price? And if you didn't set it up, you forgot, that's why. Okay?
Just holding everybody accountable, more or less.
Yes, exactly. Chuck.
Okay, so the way it is right now, if a customer calls me and I'm able to save them a few dollars by what I see on the cheat sheet,
Correct.
I tell them to go ahead and call the order in, give them the price, and then I'll follow up with the pricing request.
That is correct. However, they will not be charged the pricing you gave them right then and there. Okay?
That won't happen anymore?
That's what will change. What will happen is we will have to give them a credit on the back end. You need to explain to them, listen, if you need the product today, you will pay a higher price, but I will get you a credit done tomorrow. The credit will be done as soon as after it's invoiced, okay?
Okay.
You still send me that invoice so that I can credit it back to the pricing you gave them. If
No
the
more
customer,
pricing on the fly.
I'm sorry?
No more pricing on the fly, basically.
That is correct. So that's why you need to set up your pricing as quickly as possible. Keeping in mind, it does take up to 24 or sometimes 48 hours to have the price set up in the system to where it's read. Okay?
Which brings me to the second part of the question.
Yes?
We got an email this morning from Janet cautioning us that prices are going up at the first of the month. So just keep that in mind when you are submitting a pricing request.
That is correct. So
Kind of like, do you want to do this today or wait until the first of the month?
Okay, I see what you mean. Basically, as soon as we get who's going to be going up and everything else, I will tell you most 3M products that we are going up on, for instance, the 180 CV3 kits are between 3 and 5% increase.
So
Chuck, I get what you're saying. Well, what you're saying is Janet's contradicting what Ted is telling us. So Ted's telling us that if our customer wants a discount that we have promised, we need to set it up in the system immediately. Otherwise, for the next month until January 1st, we're going to be having to have issuing this customer every single time he places this order on the product that Janet says, hey, maybe you should hold off and not send me so many price requests because it's going to change. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is you don't want to hold off doing price requests for, let's say, that week. You want to do them that same
right.
week. Okay.
Chuck, is that what you're asking?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's
I was asking
exactly
Chuck.
right. Janet's saying, hey, hold up.
Okay.
Then at the same time.
Well, you of course, this is a good opportunity on some of your customers or telling your customers, send an email blast out. 3M is raising their prices as the first of the month. We know that it's a minimum of a 3% increase, or there is a minimum increase. We're just not sure of exactly what it is yet. We won't know until the beginning of the year. You might want to consider buying extra stock right now before the end of the year, before pricing goes up. Okay? That's a good way to do it. You don't know what the increase is. You don't know the percentage yet, even though we do, but you don't want to necessarily tell them. You just say the pricing is going up, and it's not a small increase. I mean, it's 3%. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good increase. So, of course, if they're already set up in the system with pricing, that pricing will automatically be set up for you because it's already set up at that price, and I will be sending that matrix out to you so that you know what their new pricing will be. If you want to call your customer and let them know, you feel free to do so, keeping in mind that every time you do that, customer at that point is alerted, maybe I should need to go shopping. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So going back to pricing, setting up pricing. So basically, if you're not going to override pricing now, we don't have that. We don't have the opportunity to do that one-time price still then.
No, you still have the opportunity to do the one-time price, but keeping in mind, if they do need a one-time price, it's going to be on the back end. It's not going to be right up front.
Okay, so we still can do that, but they just get credited back. Okay.
That is exactly right.
We're going to lose a lot of business on that.
Yeah. Every time, and that is correct. Paula, great question. Actually, I'm sorry. By the way, all these questions are fantastic questions. Thank you. But basically is that one-time pricing, because we do a lot of that, you're right. So you don't have to necessarily set up that pricing, keeping in mind that if the customer comes back and wanting that pricing again, and they call in, they will not get that pricing because they were not set up that way. But we do a lot of that. It'll just be on the back end. Okay? Questions? Comments? Does everybody understand everything? Are you happy? Does this make your lives easier? Nobody?
I'm just afraid of people who are going to leave, but I know that's going to happen.
It happens already, Jane. We already have people that flee and come back. People do this all the time, no matter what pricing we give them. So
are you going to
go ahead?
Like last year, what you did is you gave us all pricing for the kits, the 3M, the 180. In the 54, 85, 18, whatever like that we could at least use as a, as a starting.
Right. I understand.
Will you do that? Will you do that for us again, please?
That will already, keeping in mind their floor, what I was talking about, there is a floor pricing, the pricing you can never go below.
Right.
That you guys will have access to as soon as we come.
Okay, thank you.
That will happen hopefully before the end of the year. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
One of the things that I want everybody to make sure, everybody's happy apparently with the new bonus structure. Okay? So with the pricing is being what you call locked down on 9 of the top 10 SKUs, guess what? Our cost is high or less. Sorry, I'm not saying that right. Our percentage of profit will go up. So what does that mean? It just means more money because you're making more profit. Since you have a profit component to this of a minimum of 1.5%, anything over that, and sales of minimum of 5% over what you did last year, all that is going to happen and it's going to trickle up and it's going to go up, meaning more money in your pocket. What does that mean for everybody? I get to get a bonus.
We hope so.
Oh, nice.
You hope so.
Okay.
That's the way we've got it set, where you all should actually get more opportunity.
Wait, so are we making 1.5%? That's our bonus for whatever sales, or is it 2% of the 1.5% excess?
No. Okay, 2% bonus on everything that you sell that is all the qualifiers are met. You have a 1.5% of profit based on what we have set for you because of those 3 months I was talking about. You had September, October, November, where we had flat months, all 3 months. That gave us the basis for an average profit margin. That's what you will have for for all of next year. You will have one number. You have to do 1.5% over that. I will give you those numbers. Don't worry. So you will see exactly where you're at. Everybody will have an opportunity to see exactly where they're at most all the time. We were going to give you the S&P numbers for your particular area. I'm not going to, I may or may not, I don't know yet, how that's going to work, how I'm going to, disseminate that, because I don't think you guys need to see where everybody is. I think for each of you, your territory works perfect. Or if you guys don't care, I can set it up to where everybody sees what everybody else is doing. We'll talk about that later. I'm not sure how that's going to happen because I don't know how it's going to look yet.
I kind of like seeing everybody.
Okay. Well, we will let everybody decide that. I'm not going to make a unilateral. I mean, let's put it this way. If we want to do a democracy, we can't vote on it. That's fine. Or I'll just be a dictatorialship and decide what we're going to do. I haven't decided which way it's going to go, guys.
I don't care if people see my numbers. Sometimes though, it creates like competitive notions. So thinking, oh, this Phoenix or Mesa or, Carly, she's beating me out. I gotta, catch up to her. So, I mean, we're all human beings and we're all competitive. So maybe it'll keep everybody on a competitive edge. And it also gives everyone kind of an idea of how the West region is going, since we never really get any, those type of reports as far as like, hey, how are we doing? How is the company doing? How's the West region doing? How's California doing?
I understand. Okay. Thank you for all that input. I do appreciate it. Okay. Yes.
One more question.
Yes.
Are they going to have the bonus structure set up the same as this year? 50 for a printer and 25 for a lamb or a cutter. I think that needs to be increased a little.
That was not discussed. I do not know the answer to that. That's a good question. I will find out.
Yeah, because I sold a $16,000 seal and I get a $25 bonus. That's higher than a printer in margin.
Guys, okay, printers and equipment is taken out of your numbers, by the way, just like it always has been. House accounts are out of there. And anybody else that is not part of your deal now is all taken out of the numbers already. I just forgot to tell you that. Just like it is now. Carly, as far as the bonus structure goes on equipment, I do not know the answer to that, but I will find out. It will not go up. I can guarantee you that.
Ted, I do have another question, actually. So since we're not going to be judged off the rolling 12 months, which is the exact reason on why I remember Stacy had told me a year ago that the reason why when a customer closes shop and it still is on our follow report, especially if they're top 10, it'll linger on our numbers for a year. She says, well, the reason why is because you guys were paid off of a rolling 12 months. So now that we are not paid off a rolling 12 months, that means that if a business closed shop, that means that it should be taken out of our numbers because, again, Stacy had explained it in a better way than I can, but she basically stated that how the rolling.
Sure, I understand exactly what you're getting at. The answer to the question is you will have your 5% goal over what you did last year. So if that customer was in business last year, you still have to get 5% over what you did last year. Okay?
So yes, we're still penalized in a nutshell.
Yeah, still penalized.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm not going to disagree, but it's not considered a rolling 12. It's still, we have to have a matrix, guys. We can't just take them unilaterally out of the all the numbers because they went out of business this year.
No, what about a code? What about code 7s, man? Code 7s that owe us money. It's just really? We can't get them back.
No, it doesn't mean you can't get them back. Just means it makes it. I understand, guys. This isn't a perfect system, but it's better.
It's better. Okay.
We hope.
Got you.
All right. I know that it's not a perfect system. Nobody has a perfect system. We're just trying to make it better for you. That's all. We're trying to get it to the point where you guys make bonus, where you make more money. That's all.
Sweet.
Yes?
No, wonderful.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right. Other questions? Anybody? Concerns?
A little, but nothing to say.
Okay. Chuck, you had a question on the delivery. That will not be reinstated. Chuck had sent me an email stating, can you find out to see if we can still get paid the $5 for every delivery we make? That will not be reinstated. The reason why is that when we instituted that last year, we had some workman comp issues that came up. And because of the workman comp issues and because of the different laws different states have, we can't actually unilaterally go back to that because the liability issue is just so humongous and everything else and how we classify everything. So we can't go back to that. So I'm sorry that will not happen. We still want you to do your own deliveries because that's another contact you have with your customer. And it's always something that it brings you more above what your competitors will do a lot of times. Okay?
Oh, I do have an odd question. Will they be hiring any more floaters for the warehouses to fill in when the managers go on vacation?
They are.
Yes, please.
The answer to that is yes and no.
Oh, just like forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Basically, we are changing certain things about the ops. The ops is changing some of the ways they do things, but we are still working on that project or that particular portion of everything so that you guys don't have to cover the warehouse as much. We're hoping to get you away from covering the warehouse. You're still going to have that one odd day, but we have people that take like a Friday and a Monday off so that they can go through their everything. That will stop. Or we will have somebody there for that weekend so that you don't necessarily have to do that. Every once in a while, you still may. We are going to do everything we can so that you guys don't get hurt. We don't want you doing that because you stop your sales process, and that kind of sucks. But at the same time, based on what we're going to do, at this point, until that is actually completely 100% perfect and fixed, is that you'll be required to, you will not have to most likely do any UPS or FedEx. All you will have is customer pickups and couriers.
That's cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
All right. So that'll help you so that you will still keep in mind, because of that, meaning you don't have to pull orders for UPS or FedEx, you still want to make phone calls because you're going to have a lot more time in that warehouse to be able to do things.
Yeah, I can.
For your own. Okay?
Well, then I wouldn't feel like it's...
Okay, wait a minute. I got two different people. I'm sorry, Randy?
Well, then I wouldn't feel like it was such a waste. You know, last time I was here, I was making phone calls and trying to madly call while I was still here, you know, because I was here for 3 days. But I get it. I mean, I understand.
Well, okay, but see that we're trying to get away from you having to do more than just a day. Okay? If you do have, I mean, if you still are in the warehouse, if you don't have to pull UPS and you don't have to pull FedEx, you won't even get those things to be able to have to pull those. All you will get is customer pickups and courier orders. So what does that mean? You won't have to pull all the other orders. So that gives you more time to devote to be able to do sales at the same time while you're there in the warehouse. Okay?
That would be a huge help.
Okay. Somebody else started a question at the same time. Who was that? Okay.
Can we implement that today? I got to go in as soon as we're off of here. I'm just
Oh, I was going to say that even though when I'm there, because they know I've got rotator cuff surgeries 3 times now on my shoulders, I'll call in if I can't box an Oracle. Well, I still get ship tickets anyway. Even though I'm told I'm cut off, I'm not cut off. So then you're running back and you're calling.
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. You still, okay.
What I'm saying.
I don't understand what you're saying. You're cut off from UPS and FedEx. What?
Okay, so they'll literally cut us off from UPS and FedEx at
That
headquarters.
is correct.
When we're running the warehouse.
That is correct.
Okay, wonderful. So that'll be different because I've been cut off by Robbie before and still get ship tickets, and certain ones I couldn't pull or do, I would have to call back and say, send it to another warehouse.
Right.
So
That just happened to me Tuesday all day long because I actually hurt my shoulder. Yeah. So that I had about 16 orders that I had to stop and contact Inside Sales. They had to send me a cancel ticket, reroute it.
Guys, talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll be right back.
Nature call.
Hey, Carly, no, I know what you're saying is because they're not paying attention, to the warehouse that they're sending it to. And so it takes more time for you to contact Inside Sales, have them reroute the order, have them resend the ship ticket, then you have to cancel the ship ticket, than it is just to package the damn package.
I know, exactly. So that's what I was bringing up.
Okay, so basically, this makes it easier on everybody. Brian, you may be different.
It is different. Brian's very different.
No, I'm kidding.
No, the reason why you get all the ship tickets is because Inside Sales is not reading the board. That's really why you're getting it. They're used to you guys being open and everybody being open, and whenever all of a sudden it's shut down, they don't look at the board. Is the bottom line.
That's correct.
Yep.
And
that's all it is.
That may and Brian, you're exactly right. Sometimes, even though you're cut off from UPS and FedEx, they one or two may slip through. Just make a phone call, tell them I can't do this. Or if you feel like you can, that's fine. But okay.
Mine was 11 that slipped through, but that's exactly what Brian said is exactly what Carly just said, just in a different manner.
Yeah, exactly.
Many times.
All right.
Okay.
Other questions? Is that it? Nobody else has any other questions?
Ed, let me weigh in on something real quick.
Go ahead.
Keep in mind, guys, now you know that on your customer list, some of you have 600-700 customers on your list, and Ed Fusco is calling many of those. I'm calling some of them, and some of them are not. So now you're not going to be driving past 4 customers to get to that one in your top 100. So the amount of money, you'll be mind boggled when it all plays out.
Right.
It should be obvious.
No kidding.
It should be obvious.
Yeah.
I'm just stating the obvious. But when you hang up, just go, wow, because that's what I'm doing right now. So that's my only comment that,
Okay.
we just see so many customers that don't ever talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And you are correct. A lot of people, you guys will go bypass those ones that are not in your top 100 because you don't have time for them. Now, just go and see everybody. They're going to be so delighted to see somebody that they're going to be so happy. Go ahead.
When I started, we called on everybody.
Right.
That's what it was. And when we were told top 100 and we were crowded down to the top 100 with the yearly, the 12 month to date, all this kind of stuff, and the 10%, no, I couldn't stop, but I felt bad. It's like I was ignoring that customer I used to call on. And now it's going to be like, I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to see you for a while, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like, you weren't good enough for me to stop in and see you.
Well, sometimes that's true, though. I mean, you
weren't worth my time. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I have one last business. I know this is taking a little longer, but our meeting yesterday, Wednesday, we got into a lot more nitty-gritty than I expected, so that's why this meeting is a little bit longer and we're going through this. Of course, this is all good news. One of the matrix that you will have probably is your franchises. No longer do you need to bypass your franchises. We will be sending out a list of everybody who has not been contacted. As you guys already know, I do that already. You guys need to really concentrate on doing more franchise business. Okay? Most of the franchises are good. There are a few that are dogs, no matter who, Gas Signs is a great franchise. Sir Speedy is not necessarily a great franchise. So these are things that you'll know, and you guys already do probably in some form or fashion, who are going to be the people that you want to really concentrate on. We need to be more in front of our franchises. We need to deal with them a little bit more than we have in the past. Since there is no top 100 franchise, guess what? You get to go and talk to all your franchises. This will be part of the matrix that you guys will have, in which you need to concentrate more on better on franchises, not more, but better on franchise business. Okay?
Hey, Ted.
Yes, ma'am.
When will we have new price lists for the franchises? Because that's something that my franchises always want to see, is what their franchise pricing is. With the price increase, will we have those soon? Yeah,
we're working on all the different price lists right now. And when I send this out to you, Jane, we have one that we had yesterday that we had to redo. So as soon as that gets to me, I will send it to you so your people will know what their new pricing is, including the increase.
Okay.
Other questions?
So franchisees are also locked down, say Avery Kit, same price for everybody, no matter what, correct?
Except for the people on Avery, with the exception of the people who have special quote pricing from Avery.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, yes.
Okay.
The other thing,
that probably won't even be on the list.
I'm sorry?
It won't be on the franchise. If the Avery Wrap Kit probably will not be on the franchisee price list anymore then.
I don't know the answer to that, honestly, Carla.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it is.
That's because they really didn't have, that was something we did. We may continue that. We can't continue it if Avery doesn't allow us. I don't know the answer. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Just curious. Okay.
At this point in time, doesn't really matter.
No.
The other thing, guys, is just about everybody has announced to us there is a price increase that they will be going through within the next couple of months. 3M, we know, starts January 1st. Okay? I will have that list to you as soon as possible. It's just one of those things. Orifal will have one. Arlon may have a small one. We're not sure on the Arlon one yet. Avery, we know already, will be having a price increase in 3M. Okay? Those are the 5 major players. One of the questions that came up from a customer about 1080 colors that were discontinued or that we've had problems. You probably, if you want to, Jane, I think you had one where the customer's waiting for 5 yards on a specific color.
Yeah, it was the cherry black or black cherry. Mm-hmm.
It will never be produced again. He will not have access to it.
Okay.
That's what we got from 3M. If they discontinued the color, the color had went away. That means they had problems with it for whatever reason. They can't reproduce it. They can't do what they wanted to do. So there probably will no longer be that color. Okay.
Something yesterday, Ted and I, Chuck and I noticed. Well, Chuck brought it up. Was it the 1080 on the cheat sheet? It went up by the yard. It's like a 79-cent difference compared to catalog. So what's going on with that now? Do you know?
There's a price increase. Okay.
They're already in the system. Already showing online. Okay.
They are doing that now. So You may see some things that have, yeah. So the pricing has taken effect, and guess what? That's probably one of the things it did, and we're trying to update everything as quickly as possible, but yeah. Okay?
Got it. What about Frank Fellers? What about his, that shop? What's going to happen with it next year? It's still going to be still doing it?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The warehouses,
Cheetah?
Frank Fellers, wrap colors, is that still staying?
Cheetah will have a price increase as well, the same amount that, okay. So there will be all that will stay the same. However, there is one thing that will change, that we're expecting to change. The amount of Cheetah warehouses will be reduced. The amount of places that do roll downs, for instance, will be reduced. In other words, we may only have 10 warehouses nationwide. I'm just using that as an example, that will do roll downs. In other words, so that means that customer calls in and wants 5 yards of a particular color of a 1080. That may not come out of your warehouse, even though you have it, because you're not a roll down warehouse. What that means is your customer may have to wait another day. Okay, that's not the best of news or anything, but we have a lot of reasons why that is happening. Why is that? Why are we doing that? First of all, it's a lot of time to do roll downs. Second of all, we've ended up with all these partial rolls that not everybody knows what's going on. This gives us a better way of tracking exactly what's going on, and so that we can keep track of the partial rolls properly, so that we don't have customers calling in saying, I was shorted by 3 yards. What the hell are you guys trying to do to me? Which we get a lot of. So that may be a little bit of a difference, where a customer who is expecting to have that same day will not have it that same day sometimes. Okay? Questions on that? Yes, Brian?
Did Avery and or 3M talk about potential price locking on 1080 and SW100 like Rumorville has?
180 CV3 at this point in time will probably never be locked down. However, will eventually go away.
No, I mean the 1080.
I cannot talk about what they're doing right now.
Okay.
Because there is a new product that will be announced sometime in this year. And what they're going to do with the 1080, we're still unsure of. They were not sure, but the price lock will not address the 1080, or I'm sorry, the 180 CV3 currently. And I can't go into other details on that.
Okay, I understand.
1080, I doubt they will price lock, only because they've already done a pretty good job. Everybody's pretty much stable on that. So that is not being driven down to the bottom by any means at this point in time, as much as the 180 CV3, for instance, is. Okay? Yeah. They may change their policy on that. I don't know, but right now there is no plans to price lock 1080.
Okay. I just, Rumorville, you know how that is. So I just was curious if there were any talks about the color change being price locked.
Nope.
Okay.
We didn't step. We only said, or the only thing that was said is at this point in time there is no plans on that.
Okay.
Other questions? I know that I'm sure that other questions will come up throughout the day today as you guys think about them.
Oh, I have one.
Yes.
Inventory. When can we see inventory? Or customers see inventory like they do in Glencoe and Grimco all the time?
Not going to happen. We went through.
Not going to happen. Okay.
At this point, okay, guys. At this point in time, the answer is that's not going to happen. We are working. We are trying to see if there's one person that we can free up to where we can send an email to instead of Mary, to where I can actually see it a little bit faster and quicker. But at this point in time, that is not going to change. The reason for it, it's going to cost us almost $2.5 million to upgrade our system to be able to handle that. We don't have it. Okay. We got so many other things that have gone up that we just can't afford to do that as of this point in time. Next year now, if everything works the way we expect it to, we will be a lot more profitable and might be able to put that into the budget for the 2019. But right now, there is no way to put it in the budget for 2018.
Hey, are the catalogs in the mail to us reps yet?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
They're,
Okay.
I mean, we just got that list back to her on Tuesday. So they haven't even had a chance.
Oh, no, I mean me, like to us reps. Or,
and again, they haven't started mailing them out yet.
Okay.
They're not completed. We're still waiting for them to actually be completed to where we can send them out. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
What else? Is
Muto ever going to have a latex printer? Is Muto ever going to do latex?
No.
Okay.
There is a specific look. Everybody loves the HP latex. It's not as good as what people really think. It has a lot of issues. The only big reason to have latex, guys, is so that you don't have to wait for it to dry. However,
I know
it doesn't. The vibrancy of the color does not last nearly as long as an eco solvent. It scratches off. No matter what you do, it's still going to scratch off. You put a laminate over it, it still will not protect that color and the print to dissipate any slower. Okay?
Just curious.
That's
I was just curious. Okay.
No problem. The other thing, guys, is I forgot about this, is we now, as I said and sent an email to you guys, Avery Dennison has that division that is DOT certified. So when a customer says, yeah, you guys can't handle it, I have to go to Grimco for Department of Transportation certification or whatever it is to buy their product. Guess what? No, you don't.
What?
Avery can supply. And we don't have to go through anybody else. We are the direct with Avery on the exact same thing. There's on one particular portion of signage for reflective, the highest level is level 11. There's only two manufacturers in the industry that have level 11. That's 3M and Avery. We can play with 3M in all of their stuff as far as Department of Transportation signage, so that you don't have to say can't do anything on that. Now, I already put together, I sent you guys an email with all that information as far as that new division. It's not necessarily a new division, it's just a division we really didn't have much access to, which we now have full access to. Those guys in there, they are going to be able to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Chuck is holding that up. And so call if you have a question. We're going to have a conference call with that Avery division next month so that you can answer or ask questions and everything else. There are it's going to require a little bit more training yourselves on what questions to ask regarding Department of Transportation standards, or for your customers to ask your customers exactly what they need to figure out which product they actually are going to need to invest for them. Yes, Brian.
With DOT being talked about, did they talk to you guys in your winter meetings in regards to stocking some warehouses east, central, and west with some of this DOT material?
Is going to be something that we are talking with them now. They said, yes, we can do that. Problem is that we didn't have it in the catalog. So at this point in time, the answer is probably not yet.
Okay, so it'll still be a special order then.
It is still a special order at this point in time, but they have two different warehouses, one to take care of the east, the other one take care of the west, and everything in between.
Okay.
So what that means is it may take a little longer, but 3M is even longer than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Grimco doesn't have access. Grimco does not stock all that reflective in their warehouses, usually the high-end reflective, unless they have like a stocking order like we would have or something like that.
Yeah, I just was curious because I do have 2 clients that use a lot of DOT.
Yep.
And obviously they always go to Grimco because Grimco has it in stock.
That
Probably
is,
like no difference of us having something in stock for 3 of our main clients. I get it. So I just didn't know if we were forecasting to get a few of those colors in stock in a few of the warehouses up front.
not yet. We just, I mean, this is just brand new to us. We didn't have time before the catalog was actually going into effect. They're working on certain things to maybe do that. We're not sure. Okay. For this,
So when it's added online, you'll alert us, right? When it's added online.
say that again. I'm
Online
sorry.
catalog? It'll be added online as soon as possible.
That is something that we're discussing with them. We're discussing with I mean, keep in mind, we went through a lot of things, guys. That is still in negotiations, still brand new to us. So we're hoping to be able to put it online. That's one of the things. But remember, customers who see it online think that we stock it. So we got to be. So
Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
So,
Okay.
so we have to be careful, but we're trying to create something on our online to where it says special order only, but so that we can actually advertise that we do carry it. Okay. We'll get it more into that as this next month and year comes up, that we actually are going to be getting more and more into that. The other thing, if it matters, is the 3M price bid for their reflective DOT signage is coming up here this year, in which we are involved or will be involved in that quote process. So we may have an opportunity to have that instead of Grimco as well. We don't know yet. It all depends on how the bid prices come in and what 3M decides to do with that. Okay. Other questions?
I have one about the catalog online. You know how you used to be able to, before it was changed, where Frank's, his video is on there? Used to be able to be where you would scroll down and you'd be able to hit a check to be able to be customer, be able to get issued emails on a regular basis on new items added to the catalog online. Where did that go?
That went under, if you go to the online catalog, it's over on the side with those 3 bars that are over on the side, should be under there.
I looked, but okay. So what would it say? New items?
Well, I
looked. I didn't see a category that said new.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know the answer to that then. I understand.
Yeah, I don't know where that went. Yeah, it was a really neat deal though.
Yeah,
where you could tell your okay.
That's okay. Do me a favor, Carly, send me an email on that. Is this something we still have access to? And if we do, where is it?
Okay, it's on. If you go to the online catalog, up in the upper left-hand corner, there's like 3 lines.
Yes, that's what.
Right.
Hit that line and it'll go under seller's update. There's a tab.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go. Yep, there you are. That's right.
Okay.
Sorry to butt in.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. That's fantastic. Thank you. Does that answer your question now, Carly?
I'm going there. I'm logging in now, and I'm going over there, and I'm going to look at it. So I see shop favorites, shop color. Which one is it again?
It's Feller's Update.
Where does it say that?
So with the 3 bars right at the top to the upper left corner, hit those 3 bars, and then underneath shop favorites, shop color, shop category, shop brand, Feller's Update.
Feller's Updates right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they put in their name, their email, and subscribe. Okay, thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Paula, thank you for that. I didn't know the answer, and I appreciate you knowing that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. We've been on here for an hour and a half. I know that you guys have other things to do. If there's any other questions, please get with me. make me look good, please. I would like to earn more money, so I need you guys out there.
You can pay off your bathrooms. Pay off your
exactly,
bathrooms. How you like your new bathrooms?
That, and I need to do a new closet for my wife. New big
She
walk-in
needs a
closet. So,
well, I have a 30-year coming up in February, so I want to go on a nice vacation. It would help.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So any other questions, please get with me. Send me an email, whatever it happens to be. And I'll answer it if I know the answer. If I don't, I'll find the answer, as I always do. One of the things that we'll probably institute a little bit more is doing, if you guys have heard me do this in the past, it's been a long time, but what I call the gold mine exercise. And that means that we want to fill the basket up instead of the customer just buying a 180 CV3 kit. We want to make sure that we are filling that basket up with chemicals. We want to make sure they're filling the basket up with tools of any kind. A lot of people forget that we have all that. A lot of people forget, hey, we also have this. And we'll try to figure out a best way to do that, but I think we're going to probably do that a little bit more. And that is, I'll spend a little time with you guys to figure out exactly, maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter, we go over some of your customers and just go and see what we can actually add to their basket. Okay? Questions? Perfect. Guys, have a fantastic day. Have a wonderful weekend. I am off next week. Monday, Tuesday, for sure, you will not be able to get a hold of me. Wednesday, I will be here at the house taking care of things that come up, but I'll still be off. So emergencies only, please. Okay?
Enjoy.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy holiday, everybody.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Brian, thank you.